The village of Bushmills, in an area of outstanding beauty and historical interest, is famous throughout the world for its whisky. The distinctive towers of the distillery stand at the top of the small town and have been a landmark in the district for many a long year. In 1608, Sir Thomas Phillips, who was then actively involved in the plantation of Ulster, was granted a licence to distill whisky by the then James I of England. Thus it was that the world's first licensed distillery came into being in the village of Bushmills in County Antrim. St Patrick would have remembered the village well, for it was reputed that close to there he was sold into slavery. The old Bushmills Distillery is situated on the banks of the River Bush, in the midst of a lush, barley-growing area and close to an abundant source of peat. This combination of clear water, good quality barley and peat to fuel the kilns and stills provided the early distiller with all that he needed to practice his art. Whilst barley is today drawn from a much wider area and peat is no longer used as fuel, it is most significant that the nearby water has been constantly used for the production of whisky since distilling first began in the village. Although 1608 was the year whisky was first produced in Bushmills, it is recorded as far back as 1276 that Sir Robert Savage, landlord of Bushmills, fortified his troops before battle with a mighty draught of water of life, or as some would say, Irish whisky. Within a few years after 1608, London society was paying tribute to the qualities of Old Bushmills whisky, and by the 18th century the fame of Old Bushmills had spread as far apart as America and the West Indies. Today, although much has changed, the skills of the past are still practiced within the framework of a modern distillery. There are a number of distinctive production features. Firstly, the copper pot stills, the shape of which follows the time-honoured design for Old Bushmills, are used to effect triple distillation of the fermented wash. Secondly, both the Bushmills and Black Bush brands consist of a combination of a single malt and a single grain of whisky. This is unusual, as many brands of Scotch whisky, for example, are a combination of whiskies brought together from different distilleries. Finally, it is worth noting that Old Bushmills brands are branded and bottled at the distillery. This ensures that Old Bushmills can control the whiskies throughout all stages of production. Nowadays, thousands of visitors enjoy a guided tour of the world-famous distillery throughout the summer season. At the end of the tour, they can enjoy a complimentary haffen or browse through the excellent gift shop. Certainly the distillery's long tradition and its colourful past portray the romance that is Old Bushmills.